Hi everybody, I've got 3 of these whirlybirds on my house and 2 of them weren't working. The other one seems okay. They are either the Edmunds Windmaster or potentially the Apelair, I'm not sure, but there's no branding on it, but basically they weren't spinning. So after a little bit of investigation I worked out that the bearings were probably gone. So then it was a matter of taking it off the roof, bringing it down and then pulling it apart, and at least make sure I got the right bearings, which I didn't in the end, because the specification sheet for the Windmaster, the Edmunds Windmaster, specified the 608 bearing, 608Z, which effectively is exactly the same bearing that fits roller skates. Now, after having a look at it, pulling it apart, I actually found out it is running on a 6200Z bearing. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll just show you what you need to do to pull the thing apart, and then you can hopefully do yours rather than spending another $100 on a new one. Essentially, you've got to take it off the roof, obviously, with the screws. Then you've got this nut on the top. Now, to be able to get that off, you need to be able to get some leverage on this shaft in here. Okay, because you've got a nut in behind here, and you've got another retaining nut here on the prop. So basically what you need to do, unfortunately I had to use vice grips to get enough grip on there. It damaged it a little bit, but it shouldn't make any difference. This little plastic grommet here, that goes into there, okay, and then the shaft goes through the other end there. So basically, while I put this down, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. That off. Take that off after marking which way is which. Okay, so what we've got, as you can see, there's 2 bearings. This is at the bottom and this is at the top. Now, depending on how well stuck it is, in fact this bearing was okay, this one here was completely rusted out, pitted, and I could not get it to work. So I ended up going down and buying 2 new 6200ZZ bearings to replace those ends, and I'm going to do the whole lot. Okay, they probably will see my lifetime out, I hope, because they must be 30 years old. So you may have to, when you've got the nut off, you may have to put it in a vise, for example, hold it like that and gently tap that through, and that will ultimately come all the way through. Okay, knock that shaft out like that. Okay, now as you can see there, you've got a recess, okay, and in fact that's probably just wear and tear, that I suspect. I'm not sure if that's part of it, but basically that's where the bearing's going to sit. So if you're lucky, you're just going to be able to tap these out, or knock them out, and they're just a push fit. Now it's not going to come out. There. Okay. There's one. There's the other one. Okay, so you can see there's a recess in there for the bearing to sit, and one on the other side. Okay, so basically what we've got is, I'll pop the bearings back in there, okay, and they're just a push fit, and then it's a matter of doing this nut up, Okay, that one there. And putting the top on, like that. And then our retaining nut there. Okay. Now, just give you, that's the bearing you need. Okay. Now the later models, possibly the reason for the spec could be that the newer models have this on it, but certainly the old one, and it seemed to me they were going to be too small anyway. Just before you notice I had it the wrong way around. In fact, this goes there because this sits over the roof mount. Okay, and the screws to hold it onto the roof mount go through there. So that was my mistake. Sorry about that. So what we need to do now is basically get this shaft back through the centre here, coming up there. There's the threaded part there. Comes back up here, and then this part here will just slot into that, pop into there. Okay, and that in fact is what holds it together, so it'll spin. Alright, so I'll put all that together, and hopefully we're done. Okay, so just make sure that when you put the nuts in, that one there, you don't do it up too tight, okay? Doesn't need to be tight. If it does, it'll compress the bearing and it'll slow you down. So when you've got that one on, then hold it, maybe for crescent, and then tighten this one up, okay? But again, it doesn't need to be overly tight. This case, it's got a lock. They're both lock nuts, so they shouldn't come off. All right, so just be careful about doing it up too tight, and then we should be good to go. Okay, get a good flick on there. A bit hard doing it one-handed. Alright, so that's got to be better than what these things were. Both of them are munted. Okay, hopefully that helps. Again, if you want to put any comments or questions up, I'm happy to help if I can. Good luck. There's a bit better indication of, I've put a little bit of WD-40 in there, or CRC 556. You can see there how it all sort of fits together. So, and yeah, this is a bit of a pain in the butt, this thing here, but you know, you just push that in like that. It's probably the easiest way, because unfortunately the shaft is all corroded. So yeah, it's pretty tough to get it out when I pulled it out, so just be careful you don't destroy it getting it apart. It's probably the key thing. Okay, so she's all done. Ready to go, and put it back up and see how we go. Okay, here we are, up on the roof. I just checked that's the one that was munted. That one up the back there, a bit of CRC fixed it up, but I'll replace the bearings. It's about 5 kilometres an hour at the moment. There's the wind. See the weather station there. Oh, it's probably about 8 now, but you know what I mean. Anyway, oops, sorry about that.